Wood and steel. Two different types of materials used to build roller coasters. Wooden coasters have been blessing us with their presence since the 1800s, while steel coasters have graced us with their contributions since the mid-1900s. Over these years, each state in the USA has seen a number of both wood and steel coasters in their history. For these next two episodes of State of Stats, we are going to visit each state and see how many wood and steel coasters each state currently has and has ever had. I don't want this video to be an hour long, so I'm going to split this up into two parts. One video focusing on wooden coasters, the other on steel coasters. For this episode, we are going to look at the wooden coasters of the USA. This is State of Stats, the total number of wooden coasters in each state. For each video, I will list how many wood or steel coasters are currently operating in each state, followed by how many parks in each state has an operating wood or steel coaster, how many of those coasters have been removed, ending with the total number of wood or steel coasters in the state's history. Now before we splinter our way into the video, drop a like on the video and a sub to the channel. Helps me out greatly against the YouTube algorithm. You know, this annoying dude right here. Alabama. Here we will find only one wooden coaster that's still standing, with Rampage at Alabama Adventure. This has been standing but not operating since 2024, undergoing some major retracking. This is set to reopen in 2025, but no official date has been given yet. There have also been 5 other wooden coasters in Alabama which are no longer around. This gives Alabama a total of 6 wooden coasters in its history. Alaska. Arizona. Only one wooden coaster was ever in this state, and it was never even built. This was Sidewinder at Legend City, which was a John A. Miller wooden coaster that originally opened at Pacific Ocean Park in 1925 as Sea Serpent. This operated at the park until 1967, when it was purchased by Legend City. The ride would then sit in storage for 15 years, never being built due to being damaged from sitting in storage for so long. So that being said, Arizona. Arkansas, another state with only one standing but not operating wooden coaster, this being Arkansas Twister at Magic Springs. The park officially announced that the ride was retired, but had no plans on removing the coaster. So the future of this coaster is sort of up in the air at the moment. Arkansas has had 3 other wooden coasters removed in its past, giving the state a total of 4 wooden coasters. California. Finally, 5 states into the video, we finally have an operating wooden coaster. California currently has 6 operating wooden coasters throughout 5 different parks. California's Great America having Grizzly and Gold Striker, the Giant Dipper coasters at the Pier Parks, Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm, and Apocalypse at Six Flags Magic Mountain. California has had 72 wooden coasters removed in its past. This gives California a total of 78 wooden coasters in its history. Colorado. Here we will find only one operating wooden coaster with Twister 3 at Elitch Gardens. There's also Cyclone at Lakeside Amusement Park, which has been standing but not operating since 2023. 13 other wooden coasters have come and gone in Colorado, giving the state a total of 15 wooden coasters. Connecticut. There are 3 operating wooden coasters here within 2 different parks. Wildcat and Boulder Dash at Lake Compounce, and Wooden Warrior at Quasi. 17 other wooden coasters have been removed in the state's history, one of them being a racing coaster with 2 circuits. This gives Connecticut a total of 20 wooden coasters. Delaware. Making a rare appearance in this series, as there are no operating coasters in Delaware, but they have had 4 wooden coasters in their past, the first opening in 1903 and the latest opening in 1925. So that's that for Delaware. 4 wooden coasters. Florida. While Florida may be a mecca for theme parks, the same can't be said for their wooden coaster collection. There are only 3 operating wooden coasters in Florida across 3 different parks: Coastosaurus at Legoland, and Mind Blower and White Lightning at the Fun Spot parks. 14 other wooden coasters have come and gone in Florida, giving the state 17 wooden coasters in its history. Georgia. There are 2 operating wooden coasters in Georgia currently, with Great American Scream Machine at Six Flags Over Georgia and Cannonball at Lake Winnie. 5 other wooden coasters have operated in the state and have been removed, giving Georgia a total of 7 wooden coasters. Hawaii. Another rare appearance in the series. Hawaii has only ever had 1 coaster, being Big Dipper at Waikiki Park. This operated from 1922 to the 1930s. This seems like it was a traditional double out and back coaster. Idaho. There are only 2 operating wooden coasters in Idaho, being Timber Terror and Tremors at Silverwood. Before these 2 coasters came around, there are only 2 other wooden coasters ever built in the state, both being Scenic Railway coasters that opened in 1910 and 1920. This will give Idaho 4 wooden coasters. Illinois. Here we will find 4 operating wooden coasters, all of which are at Six Flags Great America, with American Eagle, Viper, Little Dipper, and Goliath. Since only one side of American Eagle is operating right now, I will only count that one side for its operating wooden coasters. The other side I will just consider SBNL, but it will be included in the state's final count. 62 wooden coasters have technically closed in the state, but one of those was relocated to Six Flags Great America and still operates today, with Little Dipper, so I'll count that as 61. With the 4 operating wooden coasters, 1 SBNL, and 61 closed wooden coasters, this gives Illinois a total of 66 wooden coasters. Indiana has 6 operating wooden coasters, 3 of them at Holiday World, and 3 of them at Indiana Beach. Voyage, Legend, and Raven at Holiday World are perhaps some of the best maintained wooden coasters in the country. Holiday World definitely takes pride in their wooden coasters, especially Voyage. They know they have some world-class wooden coasters here. Indiana Beach, take it or leave it. Cornball Express is good though. 26 other wooden coasters have come and gone in Indiana. This gives the state a total of 32 wooden coasters. Iowa. There are 4 operating wooden coasters in Iowa: Underground, Tornado, and Outlaw at Adventureland, and Legend at Arnold's Park. Outlaw at Adventureland being the second coaster ever from CCI. 18 other wooden coasters have come and gone in Iowa, giving the state a total of 22 wooden coasters. Kansas. There are no operating wooden coasters in Kansas today, but they have had 10 in their past, most of them operating in the very early 1900s and only 2 in the mid-1900s. Kentucky. Kentucky has 3 operating wooden coasters, with Woodland Run and Kentucky Flyer at Kentucky Kingdom, and Kentucky Rumbler at Beach Bend. 14 other wooden coasters have come and gone in Kentucky, most of them operating in the early 1900s and a small handful from the 1950s to the 1990s. This gives Kentucky a total of 17 wooden coasters. Louisiana. There are no operating wooden coasters in Louisiana, but they have had 13 wooden coasters in their past. Again, the majority of them operating in the early 1900s, and a few more modern ones. Maine. Maine only has 1 operating wooden coaster, with Excalibur at Funtown Splashtown, a semi-decent CCI. Strong first half, weak second half. Maine has had 4 other wooden coasters, giving the state 5 wooden coasters in total. Maryland. There's only 2 operating wooden coasters in Maryland, for now, both of which are at Six Flags America. Given the recent announcement with the closure of Six Flags America, the future of these 2 coasters is not promising. Roar being the oldest operating GCI, and Wild One, the oldest operating coaster currently in the country, with Leap to Dip still standing but not operating. While it is sad to see a major park possibly closing, I think the saddest part of this park's closure will be the loss of Wild One. This coaster has a lot of neat history to it, and one of these days I want to make a video dedicated for this coaster. Maryland has had 21 other wooden coasters come and go in its history, giving Maryland 23 wooden coasters. Massachusetts. We'll find only 1 operating wooden coaster here, with Thunderbolt at Six Flags New England. Despite only having 1 operating wooden coaster, Massachusetts has had a decent history of wooden coasters, with 44 other wooden coasters coming and going in the state's history, which gives the state a total of 45 wooden coasters. Michigan. There are only 3 operating wooden coasters in Michigan, all of which are at Michigan's Adventure, with Zack Zoomer, Wolverine Wildcat, and Shivering Timbers. Okay, y'all, calm down about this, for real. I'd rather see the park invest in preserving this coaster, rather than letting the ride deteriorate into a state of disrepair and being removed. Sure, adding steel to a wooden coaster changes it a little, but it's still going to be an amazing coaster. I'm going to make a video on this topic very soon, since this seems to be a very hot topic in the coaster community right now. Aside from the 3 wooden coasters at Michigan's Adventure, the state has had 34 other wooden coasters come and go. This gives Michigan a total of 37 wooden coasters in its history. Minnesota. Only 1 park in the state has wooden coasters, with Valley Fair, Rockin' High Roller, and Renegade, both of which I feel are massively underrated coasters. Not bad for representing the state's only wood. 6 other wooden coasters have operated in the state, all opening between 1893 and 1925. This gives Minnesota 8 wooden coasters in its history. Mississippi. There are no operating wooden coasters in Mississippi. They've only ever had 1 in their history, with Wild Bill at Camper Park, which operated from 1984 to 1986. This was a double out and back coaster from National Amusement Device Company. Missouri. Here we'll find 6 operating wooden coasters, 3 of them at Six Flags St. Louis, with Boss, American Thunder, and Screaming Eagle, Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City, and 2 at Worlds of Fun, with Prowler and Zambezi Zinger. Worlds of Fun also has Timberwolf, which is currently standing but not operating for this season for a possible refurbishment. I'll make a few people angry with this one. Boss is the worst wooden coaster in Missouri. Missouri has had 35 other wooden coasters come and go in its history, giving Missouri a total of 42 wooden coasters. The next 3 states have no operating wooden coasters, so let's fly past them with their coasters. Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire. We'll find 2 operating wooden coasters in New Hampshire, with Yankee Cannonball at Canopy Lake Park and Roar Soars at Storyland. There have been 3 other wooden coasters in this state, all opening in the early 1900s. This gives New Hampshire 5 wooden coasters. New Jersey. While being a state with a decent collection of coasters, there's only 2 operating wooden coasters in the state, with El Toro at Great Adventure and Great White at Maury's Piers. There's also Hellcat at Clementon Park, which has been standing but not operating since 2022. While only having 2 operating wooden coasters, New Jersey has had a healthy history of wooden coasters, with 46 of them coming and going. This gives New Jersey a total of 49 wooden coasters in their history. New Mexico. Here we'll find only 1 wooden coaster in the state's history, with New Mexico Rattler at Cliffs Amusement Park. This was the last coaster ever built from CCI, who didn't even complete the coaster, filing for bankruptcy before they could finish building the coaster. This left the park to finish the coaster on their own. A neat little story for the only wooden coaster in the state's history. New York. Having a rich history in wooden coasters, there are currently 8 operating wooden coasters in the state, spread out among 6 different parks. Comet and Bobcat at Great Escape, Silver Comet at Niagara Amusement Park, Dragon Coaster and Kiddie Coaster at Rye Playland, Jack Rabbit at Seabreeze, Predator at Six Flags Darien Lake, and Coney Island Cyclone at Luna Park. New York has had a staggering 116 wooden coasters come and go in its history, giving the state a total of 124 wooden coasters. And that's far from the highest in the country. We'll see that in a little bit. North Carolina, home to only 1 operating wooden coaster, with Hurler at Carowinds. Woodstock Express is technically in South Carolina, so I'm not going to count it for North Carolina. 6 other wooden coasters have come and gone in the state, giving North Carolina 7 wooden coasters. North Dakota. Ohio. In second place for the most operating wooden coasters, Ohio has 9 operating wooden coasters across 4 different parks. Sea Dragon at Columbus Zoo, Teddy Bear and Tornado at Strickers Grove, Blue Street at Cedar Point, and then Kings Island with Beast, Each Sider Racer, Woodstock Express, and Mystic Timbers. If you thought New York had a large collection of wooden coasters in its history, Ohio has had 132 wooden coasters open and close. This gives Ohio a total of 141 wooden coasters in its history. Oklahoma. We'll find only 1 operating wooden coaster in Oklahoma, with Wildcat at Frontier City. Wildcat opened at Frontier City in 1991, originally opening at Fairyland Park in Missouri in 1967, operating there until 1977. It stood standing but not operating until 1990, later being relocated to Frontier City. 11 other wooden coasters have opened and closed in the state, giving Oklahoma 12 wooden coasters in its history. Oregon. There are no operating wooden coasters in Oregon, but they have had 8 of them in the past. The first one opened in 1906, and the last one opened in 1946, with the last remaining wooden coaster operating until 1969. Pennsylvania, the true mecca of wooden coasters in the country. Pennsylvania currently has 15 operating wooden coasters across 9 parks, and 3 standing but not operating. The 15 wooden coasters in the state are as follows: Comet and both sides of Lightning Racer at Hershey Park, Jackrabbit, Racer, and Thunderbolt at Kennywood, Phoenix, Flying Turns, and Twister at Knoebels, Thunderhawk at Dorney Park, Kingdom Coaster at Dutch Wonderland, Roller Coaster at Idlewild, Oscar's Wacky Taxi at Sesame Place, and Comet and Ravine Flyer 2 at Waldemere. The 3 standing but not operating coasters in Pennsylvania are Leap of Dips and Skyliner at Lakemont Park, and Cyclone at Williams Grove. Not only does Pennsylvania have the most operating wooden coasters in the country, they also have had the most to open and close, with 154 wooden coasters. This makes Pennsylvania the winner of the video with a total of 172 wooden coasters in its history. Rhode Island, going from the most operating wooden coasters to no operating wooden coasters. Rhode Island has had 16 wooden coasters come and go, all opening between the early 1900s through the 1960s. South Carolina, there are 2 operating wooden coasters in South Carolina, one of them being at Carowinds with Woodstock Express. Again, while this is listed as a North Carolina coaster, it's technically in South Carolina, so I'm giving it for South Carolina. And Swamp Fox at Falmouth Kingdom Amusement Park, being the best wooden coaster in the Carolinas. Is that saying much? Not really, but it's a really damn fine coaster. Definitely worth paying a visit to. 3 other wooden coasters have come and gone in South Carolina, giving the state a total of 5 wooden coasters. South Dakota, only 1 wooden coaster has ever opened in the state, being an unknown coaster at the South Dakota State Fair. This looks like it was a side friction wooden coaster that operated from 1905 to 1915. Tennessee, home to only 1 operating wooden coaster, but it's a damn good one, being Thunderhead at Dollywood. There have been 12 other wooden coasters to come and go in this state, giving Tennessee 13 wooden coasters. Texas, while everything is bigger in Texas, the wooden coaster collection is an exception to that, with only 4 operating wooden coasters, all at different parks. Judge Roy's Scream at Six Flags Over Texas, Boardwalk Bullet at Kingman Boardwalk, Switchback at ZDT's, and Texas Stingray at SeaWorld San Antonio. 23 other wooden coasters have come and gone in the state, giving Texas a total of 27 wooden coasters. Utah, we'll find only 1 operating wooden coaster here, with Roller Coaster at Lagoon. Perhaps one of the best wooden coasters out there that's over 100 years old. 8 other wooden coasters have existed in Utah, giving the state a total of 9 wooden coasters. Vermont, no alive wooden coasters will be found here. Vermont has only ever had one wooden coaster. This was Figure 8 at Clements Park. Not much is known about this coaster, other than the fact that it existed, and no known photos of this coaster exist. Virginia. Here we will find 5 operating wooden coasters across 2 parks, 4 of them being at King's Dominion, with both sides of Racer 75, Grizzly, and Woodstock Express, and the other one being Invader at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. For 2025 at least, King's Dominion is the better park. 16 other wooden coasters have operated and closed in the state, giving Virginia a total of 21 wooden coasters in its history. Washington. There are 2 operating wooden coasters in Washington at 2 different parks. Classic Coaster at the Washington State Fair and Timberhawk at Wild Waves. Classic Coaster is actually a coaster on my bucket list. While it doesn't seem like anything extreme, I've heard it gives crazy good airtime with close to no restraint. Just isn't the easiest coaster to get to, as the state fair is only open for a few weeks throughout the year. 8 other wooden coasters have existed in the state, the earliest opening in 1906. This gives Washington 10 wooden coasters. West Virginia. Only 2 wooden coasters are left operating in West Virginia, being Big Dipper and Little Dipper at Camden Park. There were 10 other wooden coasters that have come and gone in the state, giving West Virginia 12 wooden coasters. Wisconsin. There are 6 operating wooden coasters in Wisconsin, across 3 different parks. Zib and Pippin at Bay Beach, Meteor at Little America, and Hades 360, Zeus, Pegasus, and Cyclops at Mount Olympus, which to this day is one of the sketchiest parks that I've been to. On top of these 6 coasters, there are 20 other wooden coasters that have come and gone in the state, giving Wisconsin 26 wooden coasters in its history. Wyoming. And there you have it. That's the total number of wooden coasters that's ever existed in each state. As I said, this will be a 2-part episode. Part 2 will be focusing on the steel coasters of each state. Many states will have much higher numbers in that video, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, I wrapped the video up here. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next loop.